A few years ago, I completed my business degree at a university here in Melbourne. I studied a Bachelor of Business Marketing because that was always something that I was interested in, and I still am till this day. At the time, I thought that doing this degree would be what I needed to either work in the field or start my own business. So fast forward to today, having worked a corporate job and started my own business over a year ago, I want to give you my opinion on if going to business school and getting a university degree is worth it or not. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ibrahim and I talk about all things productivity and business. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We're aiming to grow the community as much as possible and help everyone on their business journey. So to take you back into why I started this university degree and actually completed it a few years ago, was initially I was always trying to find what I was interested in, what actually was something that I saw myself doing and taking part in and studying or even working in. And for me, what I always related to was business, the creativity side of business, and really understanding what it takes to either work in that field or run my own business. So that kind of narrowed down my options to studying something within the business degree, and then I chose to major in marketing because I liked the creative aspect of it. I liked getting into the kind of consumer behavior and understanding consumer psychology. So for me, I just ended up choosing that path. And like I mentioned earlier, I thought that it would be what I needed to either work in the field or to actually end up going to start my own business. Now, when I first started at university and started my degree, the structure was, I guess, not what I expected. The topics that they were talking about and the subjects that they were teaching was not as important as I thought they would be. They weren't as relevant to what I thought, the business and marketing was going to be about. So that was the thing that I guess started to frustrate me and annoy me early on. And it came to a point where around halfway through my degree, I actually considered to drop out of university and just not complete it. But I'm not too sure why at the time. I started to think about my options and I thought, you know what, I'm halfway through. Let me just complete it and then see what I can do moving forward after that. And like I mentioned early on, I wasn't really too satisfied with how things were going, especially with things like, the teachers that were teaching me weren't really as, business savvy or entrepreneurial as I thought. I really wanted to start to learn from people who've either run a business, who've been successful, who've started something crazy or has had a really interesting journey. But I didn't really get any of that from the people that I was learning from. And that was already the point where I was like, okay, what am I actually doing here? What benefit am I actually going to get moving forward if I actually want to take this entrepreneurial journey for myself? The people that were teaching the types of business subjects that we were learning didn't really have any previous history of big business success. And that was a part when I was like, okay, this doesn't add up to me. And I think there's more to this journey than just doing this university degree and then becoming successful from there. It wasn't really as clear as I thought it would be when I first went into doing the degree. And what I realized about studying at university and doing this business degree was it was more just teaching you fundamentals of business, fundamentals of marketing and the foundations, not actually, the skills it takes to be good at marketing, the skills it takes to actually succeed in business and become an entrepreneur or just do really well at a certain business job. It was just teaching you the base level foundations of all those different topics. And then what happened was when I finished my university degree and I was going out there trying to apply for jobs, trying to get a job in the field, everyone was either asking for experience or wanting a certain type of knowledge that we didn't actually get taught at university. So it was like, okay, I've just finished this degree. How am I supposed to get this experience if I thought this was going to help me get that job in the first place? So for me, that was kind of frustrating at the time when I finished university and I was trying to get a job. And everyone was asking for, you need to have skills and experience with things like online advertising or social media platforms or content creation. And none of that was actually taught in my degree. And like I said, I'm not too sure why, but I felt like we were not prepared to go into either applying for a job or starting our own business by just doing this degree because it didn't actually teach us the skills or the actual tools that we needed to go out and apply them for ourselves. And then what I ended up finding out was when I actually worked in a corporate job and started to get a lot more hands-on with working on business projects and things like that, I learned so much more on the job than I did at the degree. I learned so much more about how to apply my skills to certain situations, how to manage projects, how to work with the teams, what type of marketing we need to think about. All that I was only able to learn when I got an actual job, not from the actual degree itself. And then fast forward to when I actually decided to start my business, which was now a little over a year ago, I felt like I had to learn so many things from scratch. I had to buy courses online, teach myself what I needed to do to find the right target audience and niche, offer the right service to cater towards a certain problem. All these business skills that you need to actually be successful, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, none of it was taught to me. So I had to go out and teach myself through watching videos online, through reading books, through buying online courses. All that, while I was learning on how to run my business, taught me 100 times more than a degree did. So if you are someone who's looking to start a business or want to take, the step or the leap to start your business journey, whether it's you have a business idea in mind or you just want to see what the potential is with you, what you're capable of achieving, but you want to do something for yourself and work for yourself, I will tell you from now, do not do a university degree that's in business. Now, obviously, I'm only speaking for my specific, niche and profession of business, not any other areas of studies. I know, there's certain jobs that you have to do a degree, like if you want to do anything in medicine or if you want to do, something in law. Those pathways are a lot more structured and you will have to go and do a university degree in pretty much every country, I'd say. But if you are looking to get into anything in the business field, I'll tell you from now, it's not worth doing a university degree. You're much better off reading books, watching videos online, buying those courses from actual entrepreneurs who've done it themselves, because that's the best place to learn from. The best people to learn from is from people who've actually done it and who've done it recently, who understand the marketing landscape, who understand, today's consumer behavior and the audience and social media. You need to learn from people who actually know these things and know the fundamentals of what it takes to actually become a successful entrepreneur. Not from a lecturer or a teacher at university who's teaching you fundamentals and foundations from old, outdated methods and teachings that are no longer relevant in this technology advancing society that we live in. So for me, working in the corporate job in the business field and then starting my own business taught me 100 times more than the actual degree itself, like I mentioned earlier. And that's why I will recommend anyone who is thinking about getting into the business field to just go out there and get experience. Work for someone who's done it. Learn from someone who's done it. Or if you really want to just go straight into starting your own thing, you can definitely do that as well these days with all the resources that are available. Now, if you don't know where to start, I would say watch videos online, read a lot of the business books from entrepreneurs and learn from them. They are the best people to actually tell you what you need to think of, how you need to prepare, and how you just need to get started rather than having to do a 3-year degree. It's going to take up your time. And to be honest, now looking back at it, those 3 years that I did to complete my business degree, I could have had and used more wisely to get a head start on working, on getting experience or starting my business a few years earlier to then be in a bit more of an advanced position than I am right now. Obviously, everything happens for a reason. I've learned from it. I understand a lot now about how I can approach things and what's the best approach, moving forward. And I'm here to help anyone who's kind of in my position that I was in a few years ago and maybe is unsure about which direction they should go in. I'm telling you now, that is what I would recommend. And it's really important you ask yourself, where do you actually want to go? What is your goal? What is your short, medium, and long-term goals? And then work your way back from there. So if something like, starting your own business is a big goal of yours, and then work your way back. What's going to be required to get to that point? What's going to be required to start seeing some success? Go backwards from there once you actually understand what your goal is. If your goal is to just work in the field, have that business knowledge, and just get a lot more experience, then to be honest, there's a lot of people out there now who are hiring within the business field that will favor someone who knows those marketing tools or business tools rather than someone who has a degree but doesn't know those tools or doesn't have that experience. So, like I said, use the online resources these days that are available to us. It's never been easier to learn on your own. It's never been easier to, have so many different options of places you can learn from as well. And then just start to think creatively. Start to think what's best for you. What do you actually want to do within the business, within what you want to start for yourself, or the experience you want to gain, and go from there. So that is my opinion on a business degree and if it's worth it or not for you, depending on what your goals are. Like I said, to summarize, for me, I think it's not worth it, especially considering the content and information and resources that are out there right now. If you look at all the most successful entrepreneurs, most of them didn't complete their university degree or didn't go at all. It takes a lot more to be a successful entrepreneur than just doing a degree. It takes a lot of discipline, energy, goal setting, clear focus and understanding of what it is that you want, and real problem solving skills. So all these skills you can learn on your own. You can learn by buying courses and reading books. So definitely consider that before you go into, jumping into a degree. And like I said, think about your main goal, and work backwards from there and understand what it's going to take to get to that point. If you did enjoy this content, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts are on that. What's your opinion? If you've done a degree before, if you were thinking about doing one, let me know. I'd love to have a chat with you guys as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.